Hi guys, it's Tammy from ShrinkingViolet.DS, and today is Saturday, September 22, maybe? And I was tagged, ooh, that's ugly. I was tagged by smaller in NC RNY or smaller RNY and NC. I can't remember what order, but it was Jamie who tagged me, and I watched it this morning. As you can see, I'm still in bed. Yes, I do have a Rush t-shirt on, Snakes and Ladders. Very glamorous, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just having a lazy day at home. We had the 7-year-old or 7th birthday party, for those of you who watched my last video, last night and this morning, and so Brian's taking the kids home and I'm just lazing around, and I don't plan on getting out of my jammies today. So I thought that while Brian was at the gym and dropping off the kids, I would do this tag. All right, so this is for Jamie. Number 1, date of surgery. My surgery was March 9, 2017. Number 2, favorite physical asset aside from regardless of weight. Physical. See, I would say my brain, but that's not really, I don't think, what they're looking for. So I'm going to say either my smile or my eyes. Either one. Size. I wrote these really badly. Oh, size. What size did I wear prior to weight loss? I wore, when I first, sorry, I got a message. When I first had my surgery, or when I first started my liver shrinking diet on February 19th of 2017, I was in a size 20 to 22. My largest that I ever was a 22, and sometimes I think, well, I don't think I owned any 24s, but I bet you I could have fit into them. So 20 was what I went into surgery as, or started out pre-op diet as. Number 4, my favorite food before and after surgery. My favorite food before surgery was probably pizza. Really, it was anything cheesy and gooey. So pizza, lasagna, cheesy garlic bread. If it had a carb and a cheese element, I was all in. My favorite food after, I don't know that I have a favorite food, but I have foods that I eat regularly. I have ones that are favorites to eat. Eggs. I eat a lot of I eat 3 scrambled eggs a day, like clockwork. My Premier Protein shakes, just because they are so easy. Again, I eat those every day, or drink them every day. As far as just like an indulgence food, I still love pizza. It is still my favorite junk food. Always has been. And I still love things like lasagna and casseroles. I love any kind of a creamy, cheesy bake. Number 5, my biggest NSV. I would say that is probably being more comfortable while traveling. And so that encompasses a lot. My feet don't hurt at the end of the day, whereas it used to be that I was just in agonizing pain after walking around a city all day. In fact, I would stop every 2 or 3 hours, get a drink, have 4 Advil just to help combat the pain and the swelling in my feet. And then at night I would go back to the room and they would be all throbby, and I would put them up against the wall above my head. So that's a big one. Another one is just increased energy in general, and also fitting into airplanes more comfortably. That's a big one. Number 6, what week video was my favorite? Darn it, I meant to go look in my videos. I honestly can't remember what week was my favorite. I'm trying to think of just, because I do my videos weekly for the most part. Probably my biggest milestone that I did a video around that would be my favorite would be, it would either be being under 200 pounds or having lost 100 pounds or hitting normal weight, so under 144. So it's one of those 3. Sorry, I really meant to go back and look at those videos. 7, my highest and lowest weights prior to weight loss surgery. My highest weight that I know of was 260, but I know that I had to have been in the 270s at some point, at least. My lowest weight prior to weight loss surgery would have been my freshman year in college, and I was 127. Number 8, the last time I was at a healthy weight, that was that 127 in college. I'm 5'4", so a healthy BMI for me starts at under 144 pounds. Yeah, so that was it. My goal weight was to be a healthy weight, under 144 pounds. For a while, I thought my goal weight was 120 because I'm 5'4", so they say 100 pounds for the first 5 feet and then 5 pounds for every inch after that. For those of you who watch me regularly, I am in maintenance, and I have been for almost 4 months now, and I maintain at 130.2, almost on the dot every time. Once I have plastics, the doctor expects me to lose 7 to 9 pounds of skin, and so that would put me very close to that 120 mark. So who knows, I might stick around 120. I don't really have a specific goal weight other than I wanted to be a normal weight. Number 10, how have my relationships changed with friends and family before and after weight loss surgery? They really haven't. I've always picked fantastic friends. I'm definitely one of those who is a quality over quantity person. I love my people, but I find people in general to be very draining. So I'm pretty picky with who I expend energy with. I have I have found that I have one friend who I don't see anymore. We just don't seem to have a lot in common. She was the first person I told about my surgery. She was not supportive that first time. Her reaction was, "Why would you want to do that?" And then after that, I didn't see her for a while, and I saw her after I had lost, I saw her right after surgery, and she was difficult, and she was supposed to be here taking care of me, and all she wanted to do was talk about herself. And then I didn't see her for maybe 4 to 6 months. So I had lost a significant amount of weight by the time I saw her again. And I met her for lunch, and again, it was just, a cursory, "Oh yeah, you look good." And then all about her, which I am fine with, but I just thought it was bizarre. It was almost like it was being purposely ignored instead of just not noticed. Anyway, so I found that to be a very self-absorbed relationship. And so, yeah, that one's gone. But other than that, every single one is good. Someone else who is going to have the duodenal switch soon called and wanted to ask me questions. And one of her questions was, one of her concerns was that her relationship with her husband or her family and friends would change. And she asked me if mine did. And, what did I think of that? And I said that I think that getting weight loss surgery is very much like winning the lottery. If you are a happy person prior to weight loss surgery, then after weight loss surgery, you're going to be a happy, thinner person. If you were a miserable person prior to weight loss surgery and your relationship with the people around you was bad, afterwards, you're going to be a miserable, thinner person. Just like anybody who wins the lottery who's happy is going to stay happy. Anyone who is a miserable person before they win the lottery is simply going to be a wealthy, miserable person. So if you had good relationships before and they were truly good, solid relationships, that's not going to change. The ones that change are the ones that weren't real to begin with. Bad foundation. Let's see. Number 11, my favorite exercise. I don't like exercise. I've never liked exercise. The only exercise I've ever enjoyed is yoga, and I haven't done that since weight loss surgery. I quit exercising entirely after surgery because I did not have the energy consumption, to the calorie consumption, to sustain both weight loss and exercise at the same time. I tried it a little bit, my weight loss stalled, and so I stopped, and I've not returned. I wasn't an exerciser before, not an exerciser now. Number 12, did I ever regret my weight loss surgery? No. Never, ever, not for 1 second. Nope. Number 13, what kind of weight loss surgery did I have? I had the duodenal switch, which is fairly uncommon in general. And it is becoming a little bit more common. There are some more DS YouTubers out there, and DSers on Instagram, but we're still the smallest population of weight loss surgery patients. And I think a lot of that is because it's the newest surgery. It's the least known, and it requires a lot of dedication in order to keep yourself happy. So what I notice is that most people who get the duodenal switch are a little bit older. We're in our 40s or late 30s. We tend to be research-oriented, methodical people, very independent. It's very interesting. I really have a sense that there is a type that gets DS. So that's what I got, the duodenal switch. Number 14, do I dump? No, DSers do not dump because we retain our pylorus valve. So no dumping for me. In fact, this morning I ate a bite of a Safeway cupcake that was left over from the 7th birthday party last night. Oh my God. See, there's blue. You can tell. That's one bite and that's still on my tongue. How disgusting. And I've brushed my teeth since then. It was nasty. If I was a dumper, that totally would have made me dump, because even for me, I was like, oh, that is nothing but fat and sugar. It was, yeah. I won't be doing that again. And that was literally one bite of a small cupcake. Walk. 15, is food an addiction? No, food has never been an addiction for me. It's a hobby for me, and it still is. I love food. I am a definite foodie. I like to make food. I like to eat food. I like to read about food. I like to watch shows about food. I enjoy food. I think it's interesting. And for those of you who also are that way, one of my favorite food shows is it's on Netflix, and it's called Somebody Feed Phil. There's a previous iteration of that was a PBS show. I think it's also on Netflix, called I'll Have What Phil's Having. And then PBS canceled it, and so Netflix picked it up and started Somebody Feed Phil. Highly recommend it. He's hilarious. He's the guy that created and wrote Everybody Loves Raymond. And it's really good. And he goes to some fun places all around the world. Let's see. Number 16, has anyone not recognized me? Yes. Funnily, one of our employees. So we own a trade show company, and it comes to the Pacific Northwest. It's all over the Western United States. And so it comes to the Pacific Northwest several times a year. And one of the places we have one of our trade shows is out at the Washington County Fairgrounds in Hillsborough. And there's a big parking lot where everybody parks, but I always tend to have stuff that I need to take in to the show for my husband or my family. And so I always park right up by the front in not a parking space. And I have a gigantic SUV. It's an 8-passenger Infiniti SUV. And every time I park up there, our show manager sees the car, and he gets on the PA system, and he makes an announcement. The person who drives this vehicle, please come and move it. You're parked in a no parking zone, and we're going to have your car towed. And every time, and so my family owns the company, every time he does that, and I'm always in different vehicles, but every time he does that, and my dad will get back on their walkie-talkies that they use to talk to the employees, and he'll say, I wouldn't tow that car if I was you. That's a really bad idea. That's Tammy's car. Anyway, so I was driving up to the show the last time, and I had my surgery about 9 months prior. So I was, over 100 pounds down. And I was telling my friend who was with me, that story that every time I park there, he always threatens to tow me, and we always make a joke about, ooh, better not tow that car. So sure enough, I park up there and I'm getting my stuff ready, and out he comes from the building because he saw my car before I got out of it. And again, it was a different car than he's used to. And so he comes up and he says, "I'm sorry, you can't park there." And I looked at him and I smiled. And as soon as I smiled, he recognized me. And that's what usually happens. People recognize me from my smile. And I said, "James, it's Tammy." And he says, "Oh my God, I did not even recognize you. I am so sorry. Of course you can park there, blah, blah, blah. You just look so different. I had no idea that was you." So yeah, it has happened. I've seen other friends and friends of friends who didn't know that I had had surgery. Well, most people don't know, but didn't know that I had lost weight. And same thing, until I smile, they kind of looked at me like, "You look familiar, but I don't know." Even one of my cousins did that at a funeral too. So yes, people definitely don't always recognize me. Let's see. Number 17, am I a happier person? Yes and no. So I've always been a happy person. I believe that happiness is a choice, and I've always made a conscious choice to be happy. Having said that, I did have reverse seasonal affective disorder because of the long summer days here in the Pacific Northwest, and it would cause me to not produce melatonin, and so I wouldn't sleep, and when I wouldn't sleep, it would depress me. So it's just like seasonal affective disorder does to people who can't stand the short days, but for the long days. So I did have that. So of course that makes you not happy. And that's not really something you can choose. So I took Wellbutrin for that. And after my surgery, I didn't need that anymore, oddly enough. So yeah, I guess a little bit happier. I'm definitely happier situationally. You know, I'm happy that my feet don't hurt as much. I'm happy that I have more energy. I'm happy that I can walk into any store and buy clothing. I'm happy that when I travel, I can pack 2 weeks worth of clothes in a hand carry. My husband says that my goal in life is to be able to pack a week's worth of clothing in a sandwich bag, which, yeah, he's not far off. That is. So yeah, there are things about this that make me happy, but I was a happy person to begin with. And that kind of goes back to number 10, where I said, if you're a miserable person, weight loss surgery is not going to make you happy. And if you're a happy person, it's not going to make you miserable. Number 18, people that I watch weekly on YouTube. I watch Jamie, who tagged me in this. I watch Hasta Cielo y Más. She has not been posting lately because she's been on a cruise, but I do watch Kristen from Hasta Cielo y Más. Joni from Smilin' Shrinkin'. Again, Joni, you gotta post more often. I watch Grace Gets Gastric. I watch Ruthie from MysteryGuest1948, I can't remember. I watch Kimberly from, I think it's Live, Laugh, Love or something like that. There are lots that I watch. Who else? I feel like I'm missing some. Oh, Lisa Pickens DS, Heather Feathering, Foodie Turns Sleevey, Watch Kitty Shrink. I think that's it. And then there are people that I also watch on Instagram who do Instagram stories, but who don't necessarily do YouTube. So there's one called Shrinking Kitty, who is not Watch Kitty Shrink. She's different. Perforce tends to be more on Instagram now than YouTube. She used to be on YouTube a lot, but she Instagrams regularly. Getting Fit for Duty is a guy in New Jersey who I watch, and there's some other DSers. Oh, I almost forgot one of my favorite YouTubers, Michelle from Hello VSG 2016. And also Cindy from Cindy VSG. I feel like I'm leaving a bunch of people out. I watch a lot of YouTube, you guys. 19. What are some non-scale goals? I don't really have any non-scale goals left. My non-scale goals to begin with were health-related. I wanted to rid myself of diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. That all happened within 2 weeks, maybe a week of surgery. And then my next non-scale goals really were just to live life more easily, and that's what I do. Yeah, I don't really have any non-scale goals. I suppose to be steady with my vitamin intake, which I am, and to just keep doing that, and to maintain. But that's a scale goal. Non-scale goals, I can't think of any. Sorry. Number 20. Oh, I do know a non-scale goal. I want to be better about posting on YouTube and doing more themed posts instead of just, hey, this is my life, I'm still maintaining. It's boring. I know. Sorry. Number 20. Am I addicted to the scale? I am not addicted to the scale. When I was in loss mode, I weighed myself daily, and that was necessary for me. And my mind did not get all crazy about the ups and the downs. I was okay with that. I expected it. My surgeons told me it would happen. And so I weighed daily, and then I made sure that my overarching arc was a downhill slide. And the reason I weighed daily is because I wanted to record my weight daily so that I could have an accurate graph of my loss. Now that I am in maintenance, I don't weigh daily. I weigh whenever it occurs to me. And in fact, my scale has become a platter for cat treats. And so I now weigh whenever my cats have eaten all their treats, and I'm like, oh, hey, the scale's free. So nope, not addicted to the scale at all. I am, however, kind of addicted to laying in bed on Saturdays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I could get used to this. You all have a lovely weekend. Thank you, Jamie, for tagging me. It was fun playing along. I'm going to tag Ruthie from MysteryGuest1948. I think that's it. 1948. I gotta remember that. See, I'll never break into your junior high locker, Ruthie, because I cannot remember the code to save my life. So I'm going to tag Ruthie, and oh, another one that I watch, and I'm going to tag her too, is SleevedinNJ, and she used to be a sleever, but she has converted to a DS. And it was not a revision surgery, it was a continuation of surgery. She had always intended to be a DS patient, and she just did it in 2 steps. So I'm going to tag her as well. So tagging 2 people, MysteryGuest1948 and SleevedinNJ. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.